Welcome to the special meeting of the Larkspur City Council. It is Wednesday, December 10th, 2025. It's now 6:30 p.m. May we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Candell,
I am here.
Councilmember Margulies,
Here.
Councilmember Paulson,
Here.
Vice Mayor Andre,
Here.
Mayor Way.
Here. If you are able, could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. We are now on to item 2, which is public comment. This is an opportunity for members of the public to address the council for items that are not on tonight's agenda. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to the council on a matter not on tonight's agenda? Okay, is there anyone online? All right, seeing no hands. I see Sam just logged on. Sorry, I just saw Sam Andre just logged on, so. I will close public comment. That brings us to presentations, such as item 3, and there are none. Brings us to item 4, which is the consent calendar. We have one item on the consent calendar, 4.1, which is to adopt resolution 5625, authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Refugia Marin for the Habitat Gardens at the Commons. Is there any member of the council who'd like to pull an item for discussion? No? Any member of the public like to pull an item from consent calendar for discussion? Okay, so I'll take a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that brings us to item 5, which is the city manager's report.
Just housekeeping reminder, the last meeting of the council is tonight, and the city hall offices will close on the 24th and reopen on January 5th. And I would be remiss also if I didn't advertise for our recreation director because he's very excited. The rain is not coming. Friday's going to be great. Please bring your young children out to enjoy the lights in Piper Park. And there's going to be an electric train for the kids to ride on Friday. So
and hot cocoa.
Come on out as soon as it's dark. There'll be hot cocoa as well. Yeah.
And what? And candy canes. Okay, good deal. Any questions of the city manager? All right, that brings us to council members' reports. Does any council member have a report? Sure. Do you have any? Okay.
Well, on behalf of the ad hoc committee, the Serenity Ad Hoc Committee, I want to, Councilmember Scott Kendall and I want to announce that last Friday, it was announced that Serenity has entered into contract to be sold and that the transaction is expected to close on December 17th. So it's been 20 months of pretty steady work, and I appreciate Councilmember Kendall's work as well as the city manager and the city attorneys really walking with us through this entire process, which has been quite an ordeal. But I think just given the circumstances that this is a very good result for the city of Larkspur. And so once the transaction closes, the property will come back onto the property tax rolls. And so, we will start to see some property tax revenues from the property in probably 2026. So thank you.
Good work on that one. Very much. Any other council member reports? Yes.
I just want to mention that tomorrow night, the Climate Action Forum will be meeting here in council chambers at our regularly scheduled time. We had to push it out a day because we're having a special meeting tonight. So anybody who's interested in helping us determine our priorities in implementing our climate action plan, please come, please bring all of your great ideas, and please tell your friends and other residents who might be interested in participating. We'll look forward to seeing you. Thanks.
Any other council member reports? Okay, I'll close that item. That brings us to why everybody's here. Business item 8. This is a tradition in Larkspur, and it's most cities rotate leadership in December, and Larkspur also does that. And we really have a tremendous tradition in Larkspur where our volunteer fire um, residents who are members of our volunteer fire department do a nice presentation, and we'll be doing that in a minute. But these are the kind of things that bring towns like ours together, is to have community involvement and citizen participation and traditions and legacy and heritage. And I think that's a really important part of what we bring and why we sit up here and do the hard work and sometimes the unpopular work of trying to create policy and processes that benefit the town, our businesses and our visitors and our environment. So tonight is one of those. I just want to say a few closing sort of remarks. This is my third time as mayor and probably one of the most interesting times. Actually, I was mayor in 2020, and that was one of the hardest times to be mayor because we didn't know what was going to happen with COVID. But this particular time has been really fun in the extent that we have I really am proud of this group of council members that you have all elected, because we all bring different strengths to this role. We bring skill sets and education background and abilities that I think have created a really robust team. And I'm looking forward to keeping this team together for a while as we continue the work. I think the work that Stephanie and Scott have done this year, really taking a lot of time and effort with their expertise, not only in real estate and finance, but in negotiation and legal issues, and in the ability to be persuasive, to spend dozens of hours working on several issues that are of very big importance. And that's because they have that skill set to do that. Gabe has brought his wonderful personality, style of collegiality, and really dove really deep into topics in which he's taken leadership roles within the county, from flood control to smart train. He ran for supervisor a couple of years ago and really put himself out there to be part of the community. And then this year really took on some great leadership roles. And I think you've really enjoyed it. And I think you've shined in that role. Sarah's new with us and our newest member, and new to the experience of governance. But boy, you revived and brought forward a group that has been wanting some energy into the environmental and our climate action plan for a long time. And we hadn't really had a lot of the bandwidth in the last 4 years, with two of our council members, one passing away and one retiring. And we were kind of bare bones there for a while. There was a few months where it was just the three of us. So now we have someone who really has that passion and brought the bandwidth. And I think we're seeing the outcome from that to be the organization of that is really something many of our community members have wanted. So I appreciate that you wanted to do that. So I have one more year and then I'm retiring. So I've put this out here for a long time, that if you are interested, or you know someone who's interested, or you have an inkling of interest in sitting up here and being a member and part of this team and representing Larkspur and helping your constituents and your family, reach out to me. I would love to give you a primer on what it's like and help you in any way possible. So I'm opening that to those in the room, those online, and any of your friends or family who might be interested. It's really special a place, and I think it remains special, and we're all passionate about Larkspur because we have a legacy of having leadership that has worked hard to keep it this way. And then lastly, I think we have some of the best staff that really do the hard work. We kind of order them around sometimes, but they really do the day-to-day work of a city. They're the chief executive officer in City Manager Schwartz. We have public works directors. We have people who do park and recreation. We have our maintenance crews. We have all the planning and building inspectors and planning people. They're the ones who keep the city running. We're not the ones who do that. We're the ones who work with them, and we have a tradition in Larkspur, and I know several faces in the audience, Joan being one here, of very having a collaborative relationship with our staff. And some cities don't have that, and I think that's a real important piece that we have to continue to bring forward, because that's how we get things done, and that's how our citizens are interested in. So I am looking forward to taking a little bit of a backseat role next year so these guys can shine because, towns need turnover and I think 3 terms is enough. So, but I'm not going to hide and go away too far. So that brings us to what we're doing tonight, which is electing a new mayor. So I will ask for nominations for the vice mayor role first, please. Is there anyone on the council who would like to nominate one of our members for vice mayor?
I would like to nominate Gabe Polson for vice mayor.
All right. Is there a second?
I'd be honored to second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? All right. Congratulations. That brings us to nominations for mayor. Is any member of the council like to nominate one of us for mayor, except for me?
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Stephanie Andre as mayor.
Great.
I'd be honored to
Second.
second that.
Fantastic. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No? Any abstentions? No. Congratulations. I'm reading the script. Do you have the script? It's right here. Everybody can clap now. And then when she goes up to receive her oath and the gavel, we switch seats, and that's always the fun part because I get to move over to another role. So that brings us to the new mayor who's in charge.
Okay, well, before we do the passing of the gavel, I think it's appropriate that we celebrate the outgoing mayor. Catherine, it's just been such a pleasure having you as mayor, and you're such an outstanding leader. And I really appreciate that when I first was thinking about running for office, that you really spent time with me. And
Twisted your arm.
you told me it's going to be 15 hours a
I
week.
know.
And it's been a lot more than that. But
Don't let on.
But it's been wonderful. You've been a mentor to me, and I really appreciate just all of the history and the advice and all the knowledge that you bring to this role, and that you are really transferring to all of us. And I'm glad you're going to be here for one more year, so I'm not going to be too too sad yet.
You
But
take on the emeritus role where you call in,
But yeah, I really appreciate how, Catherine is extremely, I think, she knows how to read the room really well, and she's extremely diplomatic and articulate in her views. And that is something that I really admire, that, in very sometimes contentious situations, like she really is very even keeled and maintains her composure and is actually very articulate about her own perspective, but also willing to hear, what the other side has to say. So I really appreciate that about Catherine, and it's something that I will strive to emulate as mayor. Gabe, do you have something, or because I have some?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy.
Okay.
But
Why don't you go first, and then I'll go second.
Okay. I mean, I
It's always an embarrassing part.
well, I hope not. I have to say, quite honestly, part of the reason I'm up here is because of Catherine. So
I bit your arm too.
she didn't have to twist too hard. I went to the neighborhood response group meetings, and I think just like Catherine's been signaling not only that she's leaving, but that she is, that trying to bring in people is such a wonderful trait. It feels like this is something for the community. Anybody here can do this. So I met her in a cafe, and I have the list. There were 55 points on how to run, and I've only got 2 that are, I think, really telling
Wait,
of who
this is my
Catherine is.
list on how to run.
That's your list, and of course I put it in a spreadsheet and ran it through GPT. But one is never talk negatively, only about your plans, never gossip. And the second one is be polite. Thank people, the power of politeness. And I think what Stephanie said completely underscores that. And I feel, kind of my things are the impeccable ethics and professionalism. I really feel you show that, and we're so proud of you. I mean, you've really been kind of the senior person here. And I also want to add that you promote women candidates. I mean, I think at a time that we're in, and it's
Audience agree with me.
yeah, I mean, it's a nice, it's done in such a good way, an inclusive way, and you're inclusive in general, and it really fits. So I've learned from that, and it's wonderful. And I was thinking about this throughout the year, and I don't want to spend the time, so I only have 30 seconds, but I want to say the top 5 things about Catherine for me. So my Letterman top 5 is always well prepared, always does her homework. One thing has really taught me how to say no. You say no, but you say it so nicely. Like I feel I, don't know how to say no. Building faith in local government. I think you believe in local government. I think you, and always a personal touch there. And then you were talking about the staff. I think you're one of the members, even up here, who reminds us as a council, reminds the public, what our swim lane is, that staff does know what they're doing. We can question them, but I think that's always been a good voice to hear. And my last is the, I'm married to an Irish woman, and there's this notion of the generosity of spirit. And I would say you have, among all the council members, the gang of 55, one of the most generous spirits I know. So, so I brought some flowers.
Eve and I enjoyed our dinner last.
Yeah, Catherine always gives us baskets of stuff and flowers. So I just wanted to put that on behalf of the council. And anyway, thank you so much. And we're so glad you're not leaving. You're going to be with us. So, but you did an outstanding job this year.
Well, let's move on, Mayor.
Well, I'm not finished yet.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, we know Catherine is getting ready to, take a step back from council so that she can focus on her grandmother duties. So I have a few things for you
Uh-oh.
to help you. Hold on one second.
For
Sorry.
those of you who don't know, I have an 8-month-old granddaughter,
Yeah,
my
so-
first ever, and
Yes.
a new one arriving, not the same daughter, a different daughter, in 2 months.
So very exciting times for Catherine. And I thought that, I put together a little grandma care package for her. So first thing, some Tylenol.
Oh, yeah. Give this to the kids.
I got you some earplugs just in case, the kitties are just crying uncontrollably.
That's right. Did I put them in there, and the baby or me?
Thought you might like a sleep mask just to help you
Shaped like a cat.
block out the. And if you need some, just some downtime. Sorry.
Is that where the cannabis comes in, Scott? Sorry, this is like.
I'm gonna help you with this here.
Martini, here we
Yeah,
go.
get you some.
Wow, I could. This might
Help
hold
you
a
with
half
this.
of the whole bottle.
And just to help you out here, I got you some.
Do I have a reputation or something? I don't know. Oh, great cocktails.
Yes, help you out there.
Yasu Mandarin. Oh, okay. All right.
And then the
Oh,
last
no.
thing is you want to get into something comfy.
Oh,
so
no.
I embroidered this for you.
Oh.
It says La Mare in French, so that you can let your grandkids
Oh,
know
that's
at some point
fantastic.
that
I have to learn
Grandma
French.
Catherine is Grandma Catherine actually has done tremendous work and public service and contributed so much to our community, and we're so grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
One more talent of Stephanie, your new mayor, is that she can do artwork. Thank you. All right. So, oh, thank you. I'm going to put this down because it'll look like I'm a little bit lush. I still have a little bit of a reputation.
Oh, here, you can have this back.
Oh, that's okay. All right. So the city manager calls on, this is our script, calls on the president of the Volunteer Firefighters Association. You get to go up there.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Airway, as always. I'm gonna miss, or can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Mike McDermott. I'm the president of the Larkspur Volunteer Fire Foundation. And since I've been a member since 2004, and it's been its tradition since 2013, when the Larkspur Volunteer Firemen Association was founded, that they would give the gavel to the mayor. So in keeping with that tradition, I've got a gavel for the new incoming mayor, Mayor Andre, and want to introduce also my son, who comes here, Colin. And when he was 8 years old, we started training with Mayor Way on Get Ready. So I would bring him
When I first
along
moved
and have him
here.
pass out the books and do that. And most of our volunteers that are still alive and breathing are aging. So we do need new people. We lost a driver of the Model T, if you're all familiar with the Model T from the parade. So my son has stepped up to help maintain it, to help work on it, and to drive it. So he's driven it in the last two parades. So we're going to keep trying to bring in new younger members. So anyways, in honoring you, there's something that my famous Uncle Skinny said. So stand up to be seen, speak up to be heard, and sit down to be popular.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I do have a few prepared remarks, and they will not be too long because I know we all want to go out and celebrate. But my fellow council members, valued staff, and esteemed members of the public, it's really wonderful to see all of you here today. Larkspur has received plenty of positive press recently. According to a new report by the Metropolitan Transportation Commission, Larkspur has the best local roads in the 9 Bay Area county. Larkspur topped the list with a 3-year average score of 87, 4 points above the second place city of Palo Alto. Yay. Larkspur was featured in Marin Magazine in an article titled, "Why We Love Larkspur, Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About This Friendly, Fascinating City." And we were lauded in the Marin IJ for our new library and commons, which is described as a legacy project that will serve our community for generations. There's so much to celebrate about our city, and we should be proud of our accomplishments. But let's remember that success is not accidental. These achievements are the result of foresight, planning, care, and collaboration among many within our community. As I embark on my first term as mayor, I look forward to working with my fellow council members to advance the goals and priorities of our community. So what are our shared goals and priorities? I'd like to just share my thoughts and comment on a few goals for the coming year. First, let's continue to build and enhance our sense of community. When people say they like Larkspur's small town feel, what do they actually mean? I think they're referring to a place where people know their neighbors, shopkeepers know their customers, people know the history of the town, and stories and traditions are passed down through the generations. Let's focus on protecting this legacy, but also on creating new gathering spaces and enhanced programs to augment our sense of community. We have a new library and commons that will be opening in spring 2026. We have plans to construct a new space for our recreation department, and we will also be doing further work to chart a course for our city hall. With the progress on all of these public spaces, let's focus on programming to enhance our community where families, the elderly, young, and old can feel included and valued. Secondly, let's create a vibrant downtown and strong commercial districts throughout our city. I'd like to maintain a strong business and economic environment that will attract new investment to our city. More investment means a greater number and diversity of amenities for all of us to enjoy. We should make it easier for businesses to open and to fill commercial vacancies, and for businesses to change from one use to another. A couple policy ideas that I would like to explore. One is a vacancy tax to encourage continuous utilization of valuable property for the benefit of our residents and discourage owners from letting their properties sit empty for years. And secondly, a review of minimum parking requirements and other impediments for businesses. Larkspur should embark on a process similar to Mill Valley, who recently conducted a study to determine whether Mill Valley should amend their municipal code to remove or reduce parking requirements in order to stimulate new business activity. I'd like to explore this with our council and other policies to spur growth in underutilized areas in our downtown and commercial areas. Third, let's find ways to attract investment capital for new housing, which helps our city achieve its goals under the state-mandated housing element. To avoid penalties by the state, but also to be part of the solution to the housing crisis, let's streamline and remove unnecessary barriers to development. Our land use, zoning, and planning codes should be reviewed to encourage greater residential densities and locations identified in our housing elements plan. More density in key housing element locations means more vibrant local shops, restaurants, and other businesses, as more people will be within walking distance and biking distance of the amenities Larkspur has to offer. Let's encourage mixed-use development throughout the town so that new businesses are built alongside new customer bases. Newly built housing will be built to modern-day standards for safety and sustainability. And lastly, the creation of more housing means more property taxes for the city of Larkspur, enabling us to deliver enhanced services and programs to all of our residents. Fourth, accessibility and safety for all. We have a goal to be mindful in creating opportunities for residents, visitors, and workers to partake in our community and enjoy what Larkspur has to offer. Let's make it safe and comfortable and easy to get around by foot, bicycle, car, whatever means is comfortable for you in order to foster neighborly interactions, encourage exercise, and preserve our planet and clean air. Let's continue to focus on delivering high-quality, critical public safety services such as fire, police, paramedics, and also our nuts and bolts services like road maintenance, keeping our parks and bike paths clean and clear for maximum enjoyment. Some projects that I would like to focus on. One, a roundabout at North Magnolia near Hillview was approved by council earlier this year, and I look forward to moving that project forward and considering other locations where roundabouts could improve our city for pedestrians, cyclists, and motorists. And secondly, I would consider further traffic calming measures at key locations throughout our city to improve safety. And lastly, continued prudent stewardship of our resources. This includes prudent allocation of our financial resources and safeguarding our city's long-term financial health. I'm interested in ways to increase our revenue and to do more with our existing resources. Let's leverage the tremendous amount of talent and expertise in our community and partner with our community groups. We have a highly engaged community, so I hope to be able to collaborate with community members on these longer-term goals. And equally important to me is environmental stewardship, responsible care and preservation of our planet's natural resources for future generations. This includes reducing waste, reducing our reliance on fossil fuels, and accelerating this shift to renewable energy. Let's make meaningful progress on our climate action goals. I recognize that there are barriers and costs to adopting policies for climate change, but I also recognize that the sheer magnitude of this problem requires global action. And as such, I do believe that government can play a very impactful role in accelerating the pace of change. So I look forward to working with our community through the Climate Action Forum to implement smart policies for a cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable future. And lastly, I'd like to just conclude by thanking the people who are here today and online. You all are the reason why I find public service so rewarding. We have different issues that we care about, and I am grateful that you care enough to come to City Hall to advocate for positive change in our community. As I mentioned at the outset, there's so much to celebrate here in Larkspur, and we've accomplished many things this year. And I look forward to serving as your mayor next year and collaborating with my fellow council members to continue the good work on behalf of the people of Larkspur. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you all for being here. It really is, I am very grateful for all of the support of the community. And I look forward to partnering with all of you in the coming year. And with that, do I have to open this item up for public comment? Okay. All right. I'll open it up for public comment if there's anyone in the public who would like to comment on this matter. Okay, anybody online? Okay, great. All right. Well then, that brings us to item 9, which is adjournment. And we will adjourn to our regular meeting on January 7th, 2025. Thank you all and see you next year.
You have to gavel.
Oh, I have to gavel?
Yeah.
Smack it.
Smack it.
Thank you.